Go mode, you know, bottom line sports show, master plan, flow, canteen, and I take Jake, faux show, one professor knows when, alley-oop jamming, 10 toes never fold out to win, the boys were better ran.
I need my hands, I just want
Let's go, street pro, bottom line, flow, canteen, hot take, Jake, and sports professor, you know, Street professor back again, it's game time. A la playa, no playtime, it's a play guy. Cause we ain't talking about practice like AI. Sports professor spit the best takes out like AI. Artfully intelligent, I can't write mine. Rhyme citing your girl's DMs like Messi after the goal time. That was a triple entendre, did you catch me rambling? Flipping Simone Biles, we the bottom line champion.
I need my hands, I just want
Let's go, street pro, bottom line, flow, canteen, hot take, Jake, and sports professor, you know, Yo, street professor, I'm back, baby, like I never left, bottom line, flow, canteen, hot take, Jake, and
Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. Yeah, these championship rings on my hands now. In my head I'm top 10, yeah, that's hands down. You a squad, know you're looking man down. Funny how foes turn to friends now. Drive a race car like a Atari now. Call filling up, I need product again. Treat the business like a playground, might slide on you. Don't me wrong, might slide on you. Do a backflip, cause I'm mad rich. I'm the definition of what that is. Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. I'm a warrior, I go back to back, then go back to back. If I top the top, then a double back, and I'm topping that. Yeah, I beat my own records. Yeah, I gotta get money fetish. Same team, I don't set trick. Never dull, this electric. Went and put the rigs on my toes. Me and bro, that's the give and go. Stay 100, end zone. Keep them coming. I know. I won't flub my wrist, no, I'm not dumb like that. I just wanna give my mama 100 racks. Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home.
You hear me, Ken? What up? It's the Bottom Line Sports.
Yo! Hey!
Down there, that's crazy. I call him crazy sports professor now. Crazy
Sports professor, baby, we in the building. The Bottom Line Sports. Make sure you join that Facebook group at what canteen? At what?
The Bottom Line Sports.
There you go, brother.
What's up, Brandon? Boise.
Shout out Ben. Shout out Brandon. Let's go.
Boise State in the house. What's up, Brandon? Cardenas. Your boy Flo's a little under the weather, so I'm gonna be a little reserved today. A little kind of backgroundish.
Let's do it,
Yeah,
man.
we're gonna do this episode 148, and here we go. Bottom Line Sports. You all know Hot Take Jake's coming, but we'll see what happens. I gotta tone this down. We'll find us on all those platforms, and we also started with our Let's Talk Sports, and we're on those platforms as well. Let's tone it down with Canteen's favorite music. Coming to you live.
I thought you told me in the comments, and by the way, I apologize to you ahead of time. When you were commenting the other day when we were on the Sunday Surge, I didn't get any of your comments here in the thing. That's why none of them ever posted on the screen. I didn't see any of them.
Oh, you didn't see?
I don't know. We need to check something. There's a setting off or something because I didn't see any of your comments until after when I looked at Facebook.
Oh, okay. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe, because your dad had said that before. He had some issues, like his comments. We didn't bring
The comments that come up on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, flows weren't coming up because I didn't remember. I didn't see any of it.
Oh, you know why? It's because I did them after the fact. I didn't watch it live.
I felt bad because I was like, "Oh, dude, I missed all the flow stuff." But okay, got it.
No, I didn't watch it live. Yeah, I just posted that. So, all right, yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. Hey, 1.9K on the Facebook group.
2,500 by the
there,
Super Bowl,
1.9. We can't get to that 2K, so help us out. Go hit follow us on Facebook, YouTube. We got a couple more subscribers on YouTube on the Bottom Line Sports. We're on the partner with Let's Talk Sports, and we appreciate everybody out there. Hit that like button when you get a chance.
That like button. Help us out in the algorithm.
Some comments and all that good stuff. Yeah, let's get going here, fellas. All right. So one of my it's beginning to be one of my favorites. Omar starts out with a couple of good topics. He hits the hockey real fast, and then we have a mixed bag. But this one I like to call Omar drops the puck. So here we go. Omar is going to give us a little hockey updates, and then Canteen will come in with some good analysis. Go.
Omar drops the puck. That's tremendous. I love that.
And then the whole hockey analysis, man. Why you keep doing that, bro?
I'm just messing with you, man. It's just a joke. There's
I mean, hey, I have a feeling. Oh, you know, he just spoke up. I have a feeling at some point in time, Canteen is going to have the most excellent NHL question. Okay,
at some point,
you don't get down on my man Canteen like that. All right.
Wait, just hey, Omar, it's gonna be unexpected. I'm gonna have a full analysis, some whole stats, and I'm gonna show flow up 1 week. Be patient.
Yeah, he's gonna shock me, shock the world.
That's great. I love
that. Go ahead, Omar. Give us.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's kick this NHL off for you. So we had the Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, you're good. We had the Thanksgiving showdown doubleheader. The Golden Knights and the Avalanche faced off in an intense matchup. And look, there's a lot of really, really good hockey being played right now. Let me give you the hottest teams going on because I know that's usually what Flo likes to ask me first. Is usually kind of where we stand in the landscape of teams at the top. So let's go through the division standings real quick. The Toronto Maple Leafs they're tied for the lead, in the Atlantic Division with the Florida Panthers, who we know won the championship just last year. Looking to repeat again, the Florida Panthers are on fire again. So you're looking at those two teams. The Capitals and the Metropolitan. I've got word from my NHL insider. He actually works there in the Capitals camp or in the Capitals offices. Told me that Ovechkin should be back within the next week and a half, which should give him enough time. For everyone that didn't know, Alex Ovechkin is chasing Wayne Gretzky for the record of most goals ever in hockey history. And he is, I believe, 24 or something like that away. And he was on a frantic pace, looking like he was going to break it this season. Then he got injured. But again, he's supposed to be back in the next week and a half. So hopefully he'll get back off into the form that he was on. I personally, as Wayne Gretzky was my favorite player, but the records are meant to be broken. And I feel like if anybody should break it, it should be Alex Ovechkin because he's just been so good for so long. But anyways, they're tied up there with the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes there in your Metropolitan Division. Moving over to the Western Conference, you got the Minnesota Wild is tied with the Winnipeg Jets up at the top of there. And remember, I told you the Jets got off to the hottest start in NHL history after 15 games. I said that the same day when the Cavs were also 15-0. So they're keeping it up so far. And then finally in the Pacific, you got the Golden Knights up there at number 1. And my Kings, my Los Angeles Kings, coming in second there in the Pacific. But in terms of hot teams right now, my Kings have won the last 4 in a row. The Minnesota Wild have won the last 4 in a row. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have won the last 3 in a row and are 8-2 in the last 10. So Toronto has been your hottest team in the past 2 years.
All right. Thanks, Omar, for that hockey update. We appreciate it. And ask Omar any questions, when he's going through his hockey. If you guys are hockey fans, Omar would be happy to answer any questions. He's definitely an expert compared to me in Canteen. He knows his hockey, and he keeps up with it, and we appreciate him for that. Well, thank you, Omar.
And before I forget, before I forget, shout out to Sidney Crosby, who scored his 600th NHL goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it became the 21st player in NHL history to hit that mark. Shout out.
All right. Shout out to him. All right. And then we go right into everybody's favorite, the Sports Professors Mixed Bag.
All right.
You love that part.
I love that part. That's my favorite. That makes me pop. All right, let's get into this. The NBA, a little bit of NBA news real quick. We're going to get into NBA in the show, but this is just some quick stories. NBA will be returning to China in 2025 for 2 preseason games, first time since 2019. Also, Nikola Jokic, shout out, records his 139th triple-double, passing Magic Johnson for 3rd on the all-time list. All right, we'll get into more of that NBA stuff in a little bit, but 2 marks that I wanted to point out. Now, moving into baseball, some off-season baseball news. Y'all might have heard about the craziness. Everybody was going wild on the internet when Rob Manfred proposed a golden at-bat rule. And so you say, Omar, what the heck is a golden at-bat rule? Well, let me break it down for y'all.
Hey,
so
Omar,
Robert Manfred,
Omar.
Yes.
What the heck is a golden at-bat rule?
Thank you, Flo. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, I thought.
Rob Manfred, who I have called on countless occasions on my podcast as the worst commissioner in sports. And this doesn't take away from those feelings that I have for him. He is the worst commissioner in sports, and it's insane, asinine ideas like these that make me give him a little side eye. I give him a little side eye action. You know what I mean? Anyways, so he proposes a golden at bat, and this is what this is. If you have and they haven't even come up with possible rules to it yet, but at some point in the game, a manager would be allowed to substitute a batter with another batter. So let me give you a hypothetical here.
They already had like a pinch hitter.
Thank you, Flo. Okay, that's one of the reasons this doesn't make any sense. Let's say that you're. Well, it is a little bit, but you'll see what I mean here in a second. Let's say that you're going into the 10th. You're the Yankees, right? And you have Juan Soto who had batted in the 9th, right? But you got up in the 10th. You got a man on, and you need a hit. You would be able to bring Juan Soto back up in the 10th for this golden at bat. So you would basically be able to pull up your best hitter at a time when you may need it at the moment.
So you can. Okay. So what's the main difference between the two? Is that the
basically a pinch hitter would be just usually an average or replacement level player on the bench. But here you could actually bring your superstar who maybe just got out and bring him back and let him bat again, even though he's not back at that time.
Oh wow, okay.
I think this is really gimmicky. I don't like it. Don't ruin baseball. But you've already got all these rules, pitch clock, all these other things that are happening. Like, this is too much.
The clock was good. The clock was not good.
The clock did work out. Anyways, you know why I said Soto? Because I am a professor. And as a professor, when I'm teaching my classes flow, I need to know how to segue properly in between topics so the lesson goes at a smooth pace. So that being said, I mentioned Soto for a reason as my example, because Soto is in the news for his contract. He is to be signed to over $600 million is where we are at right now. My MLB insider, he told me that we have bids from both New York teams, the LA Dodgers, the Toronto Blue Jays, the Boston Red Sox, and a couple mystery teams that may also be willing to throw in up to $600 million for the services of one Juan Soto. So there's some baseball news for you. Soccer news. Okay. Shout out to Carly Lloyd, U.S. Women's National Team legend. She is headed to the Soccer Hall of Fame. And also, the MLS Cup final has been set. The New York Red Bulls will play the LA Galaxy. Moving on to college sports, 2 more stories here. College sports. Okay. UConn standout Paige Becker became the first NIL athlete to ever get her own Nike shoes. So shout out to Paige Beckers. And finally, I really want to get your thoughts on this, gentlemen. We should actually pass this around and talk about this topic. But Andrew Luck is returning to Stanford's football program as a general manager. You heard me correct. He's going to a college university to be a general manager. So now, with NIL players getting paid, all these different things happening, college teams are going to start having GMs as NFL teams do. Yes. I want to know what y'all think about this. What do y'all think?
So,
go ahead, Ken.
So for me, man, what a general manager is going to be that person that leverages the playing field. They're going to leverage the playing field, which is going to allow these college players to get the money that they deserve. I mean, if you're that talented guy, you're the guy that performs, you're the guy that deserves that Nike deal, deserves that Gatorade deal, or deserves whatever deal, that general manager is going to leverage that, man. And I think Andrew Luck is a great person for that type of role and responsibility. Mm-hmm. That's what I think he's going to be, that buffer.
Yeah, my initial thoughts.
I think real quick though. I think as just to go off what Canteen said there last, I do agree he would be the type of person you would want in that role. But my thing, Flo, and I want to get your thoughts on this, is with the proliferation of NIL and all these things that are moving, all these pieces, the transfer portal is basically free agency now, right? How does this really look that college teams are starting to get general managers? You know what I mean? Like it's starting to be like a professional outfit, and is that a good thing in the long term?
Yeah, I think at some point there's got to be some left and right limits, as we say in the military. You got to have some left and right limits with NIL, and I think that's what where you, because if you don't, then you end up turning into some kind of professional game. So I think they have to somehow set that. I don't know if I like the NCAA setting that. They're not good at setting rules. I don't know. Maybe
we know that.
Something where they set some kind of left and right limits on that and some parameters. And then, but I think it's a good idea in general. And as far as the general manager, I mean,
so you think it's needed? You think they need it?
What I think it is needed, because you look at it before. Okay. Who was the guy out there, getting all the players to come in? It was the head coach, right? He was doing a lot of the recruiting, right?
Right,
now your GM can step in that role and take some of those responsibilities from the coach and give him relief. He doesn't have to mess with the money. He can probably step in on some special recruit or something, but I think the GM can kind of be that go in between, getting in the minutia of it all. And the coach, it kind of relieves the head coach from some of those responsibilities, because he has a lot of responsibilities as a head coach, especially in college.
That is true. That's very true.
I
like that. I like that.
Now, Flo, not to cut you, not to cut Flo and Omar off, man. But here's the thing, man.
Good.
To me, there are no left and right limits within the NIL, man. When you look at an organization like Colorado, You look at guys like you look at Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is making just as much money as a rookie or other guys in the NFL. Him, Travis Hunter, and other guys, Cam Ward. These guys are making big deals and these endorsements and all these things. So I mean, for them to go to the NFL, a rookie deal for them is not even a plus.
I mean, they make more money.
And you know what? That's a great point that you bring up, Canteen. And the reason why that is that we can see more superstar players stay in school longer, right? Because of the fact that they can make so much money and don't have to jump to the NFL now. Maybe they're not ready.
Look who woke up.
Right.
Look who woke up, buddy boy.
You wrong, Flo. You wrong, Flo.
He said he was asleep. He's the one that said it.
Yo, what up, fellas?
What
up, brother?
Sleep out of your eyes and let's go.
So that's
have you been, have you been listening? Jake,
have you been listening, Jake?
Huh?
Go ahead, Canteen. Finish up, Canteen. My bad. I didn't mean to.
All I'm saying is that the NIL is only gonna get worse. You got guys right now. They just had these draft classes, right? You got colleges that are beefing up with the 2025 classes. Guys are jumping in and out of the portal. It's only going to get worse. How do we leverage the playing field? How do you do that? When Deion Sanders is going to offer me X, Y, and Z, he pulled a guy that was supposed to go to Georgia. He's coming to Colorado. How do you do that? When you tell me,
but Canteen, when you think about it, I mean, really, who else but Deion could do that? There's only certain guys that could do that.
That's true too, though.
Deion is that kind of guy. So that's pretty a limited kind of a niche kind of coach. I don't think every coach has that kind of ability and that kind of pull. He's kind of his own thing, his own personality. Right. He's kind of so I don't think every coach can do that. So I think that's kind of just a one-time, a one-off kind of thing. Unless you get another Deion type personality, which is rare out there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Completely understood, man.
What do you think? You like the GM, Jake, and what is it? Tell him who's going over.
Andrew Luck is returning to Stanford football as a general manager. Now they're going to start having general managers in sports. What do you think?
And I said, Jake, that it was a good idea because I think it relieved some of the coach of some of his responsibilities on the recruiting trail and having to worry about who's going to make how much and that kind of thing. But what are your thoughts on the GM college?
I love it. Here's the other thing also. I think there is tweaks we do need to figure out in the NIL deals. But I do believe it's for the better. Here's why. Instead of Alabama's, you say, stack up. Now, 5-star recruits, if they're not getting played that first year, they're now moving to a different school. And now you widen the horizon of better plays from other. So now that team that Oregon might have now has a 5-star recruit that might have been at Alabama. Right. And now they're going to go to Oregon, and it's going to widen the horizon. I think more good play from a wide variety of teams rather than the past 10 years of college football, in my opinion, were so regional. For the longest time, we saw Clemson and Alabama playing each other. Now, I think with this widen the horizon and the way the NIL is set up, now I do think it does need fixing because I do believe there are some kids that take advantage of it year after year, and that can also hurt the sport as well. But at the same time, I think it does help it because now you're not able to stack your team up. So you're really thin on your best players. I love it. And I think the general manager is going to make it better because now coaches don't have to worry as much and they can more coach. I think a lot of head coaching jobs, such as Texas, I hope they get a general manager because I think you're playing a media game as well. The whole time as well.
Now, let me ask you this question, Jake. I know Jake brought up a good point. Now, do you think this will allow one conference to beef up more than another conference, or will this level the playing field? How do you see this panning out with the manager position and all that stuff? Do you think the SEC gonna beef up Alabama, your Georgias?
Well, this is what's about to piss me off, and I know we're gonna get into college football, but I don't like that already. I'm already seeing that college football's portraying the SEC as the glory conference because we're noticing now a two-loss Miami team could miss the playoffs. Yes, and Alabama, who's lost 3 games. Now you're telling me regular season is not important.
Let's backtrack, Jake. Before we even
let's not talk about that right now. But
we'll talk that in a minute.
Well, I'm just saying that's what's getting me mad. I get what you mean, but the SEC is gonna piss. They better be careful on how they treat these conferences. If you're telling me 4 conferences are important, tell me 4 conferences are important, and don't lie to me when it comes towards the end of the season.
It's not. It's 2 conferences are important, and the other 2 are baby brother and baby sister.
Well, they're giving you 4 buys from each conference.
Yeah,
they're telling you how important those other 2 are, Omar.
Yeah,
the SEC and the Big Ten are being very cordial and nice. To even include the ACC and Big 12.
Omar. To be fair, Omar, Texas A&M, all these teams that are in the SEC are at the top of the SEC, and they came from the Big 12. So, I mean, what are you saying? I mean, it can't be that great.
Yeah, but that was also the Big 12's 2 best teams. So,
well, look where Oklahoma's at, though. Like, I mean, that was considered one of the best.
Oklahoma's just not
having a down year.
Not as good as Texas right now.
I'm just saying.
I'll say this: college football is more exciting than it was 5-7 years ago with what they're doing right now.
All right,
with the playoff system, yeah, sure, I can say that.
Okay, we'll talk about college, but thank you, Professor. That was the Sports Professor's Mixed Bag. Yeah. All right, appreciate you, Professor. Let's talk a little.
Make sure y'all hit that like button if you're watching. Help out the algorithm.
Please hit that like button. Let's hit some little NBA action, Canteen, and then we'll go around the horn. So apparently, LeBron is kind of downplaying the NBA Cup when last year they won it. Kind of interesting. I'm a guy who missed 26 3-pointers in a row. He was like 0 for 24 or something like that. Anyway, but what do you think about LeBron criticizing the cup after he won it last year? And they put up a banner and all this stuff, and now it's not that
damn banner they did.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jan?
Here's my whole thing on the whole cup, man. I mean, LeBron is about to turn 40 in a couple of weeks. After LeBron and them got blown out, they got beat by like 30 or I think almost 40 against the Heat the other night. The Heat have a poor record or what have you. I think they're going to scale back with LeBron's playing time and different things like that because I think he wants to run the distance and play 82 games. The whole cup thing was a piss poor idea from the NBA. It was horrible. Nobody really tunes into it. So I think for them to
I kind of like the colorful courts, though. I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's cool. But when they first kicked it off, it was cool. He was all into it and they won it. But now it's like, what meaning or what significance is there behind this whole cup and tournament? Because you can win this cup, but nobody cares about the cup come April. Right. Nobody cares about that. The only thing people care about in April is who's in the playoffs, who's winning the playoffs, conference championships, and then we're looking at Memorial Day weekend rolling to the NBA Finals. So I get where LeBron is coming from, but he's peaking at this point in his career, man. Right. And I get where he's going, but yeah.
Okay, so Sports Professor, what do you think? Is this just a little bit of sour grapes? Last year they won it, and it was a big deal, kind of. You know, they celebrated the cup and LeBron and the Lakers, and now it's just like it's not that big a deal. Is he kind of undermining what the NBA is trying to do as one of the star players by saying how it's unimportant now, just because he lost?
Oh, I mean, yeah, of course he was doing that, and it brings joy and brightens my heart. To just see the purple and gold just fade into the sunset like an old man walking the beach searching the sand for any old coins or something that he might make a fortune off of. And that's what LeBron is doing right now, picking rubbish from every part that he can, drafting a Dalton Connect, drafting his son, picking up all these rubbish pieces and trying to make a treasure. And after they got embarrassed and drubbed by 41 to your second team, the Miami Heat, which we won't even get into the fact that you have 2 teams, but your second team, the Miami Heat, beat them by 41 points. 41 points. The Lakers are 12-11, almost 500. LeBron's not getting any younger. His son ain't getting any better. Anthony Davis done already turned right back into the pumpkin. They tried to act like the cup was important last year. Now they don't want to because they see excellence. They look across the coast They look to Boston. I wish I had my championship hat. They look to a better quality organization and a better quality team. And they look to that team and they say, damn, we aspire to be them. We aspire to be 18-4 with a championship about to go back to back. We don't rely on cups and hanging banners for cups.
Banners anymore.
Or touting rings that we won at Disney World in a JoJo Cup. Get out of here with that BS. You and your Lakers, you can take them and take a hike, you bum.
So, Jake, as you touted early on the season, you were praising JJ Redick and
absolutely
how well he was doing. And at this point, and you were kind of downing Darvin Ham, but at this point, Darvin Ham had a better record, 13-9, and they're 12-10. And last year, one more point. Last year, the defense was 16th in defense. They're 26th at this point. They're playing lazy defense. How much of that falls on JJ, the coach, as they're kind of lollygagging on defense, Jake?
I think a piece goes with, and now why am I getting asked this question whenever you asked everybody else the NBA Cup question?
Well, because that's
pretty biased. I get it.
But you can talk about the NBA
Flo ain't
Cup
got much wins here recently.
You can talk about the NBA Cup.
As I was saying, I think that's more on LeBron getting older and they're relying on two teams to play defense. First off, back to that question. Here's my question to y'all. And let me give it to Canteen because Canteen's probably the most honest one. I can see that biased idiot next to me, Omar, like no other. That biased idiot, Omar, who hates the Lakers as an average guy, you can tell. But, oh my, Canteen, can I ask you this? After LeBron was holding that cup last year, what did everybody say when he held that cup?
Jake, I can't recall. I don't want to lie.
Did they not clown him and say, LeBron, you're not winning anything big. It's nothing big to us. That's not the championship.
And now he's clowning himself.
So let me get this straight. A year later, LeBron now follows that sentiment with everybody else, and now he's the story.
But you can't follow that sentiment after you celebrated it the first year. You can't do that. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
It doesn't make sense.
The NBA Cup a year ago, everybody said it didn't matter, and now he loses it. And now he says, well, it doesn't matter. Y'all told me that last year. And now
that's not what he said.
That's
not what he said. That's not what he said.
That's a real disingenuous argument.
Like I said, no. He's just going by what y'all told him when he won it last year.
He's just saying that. And Jake, and you can talk about this, Omar, and
like I said, I call a spade a spade.
Hold on.
I'm
calling a spade by saying that LeBron is only saying that because he lost in the group play. He wanted the repeat championship and he wanted to get MVP.
If he would have won, if they would have won,
that. But what is wrong with him saying what everybody said last year after he won that NBA Cup? He's only
saying that because he got booted in the group play. That's
why. It's because you have a hate for LeBron, and when he follows everybody's word, now it doesn't count.
Because he's only
it's like when LeBron does the same thing everybody else does, he gets killed for it. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense that he's touted one year and then puts it down the next.
It makes no sense that y'all told him it didn't mean anything, and now he agrees with y'all, and now y'all hate on him.
He's well, see, the problem is he's trying to make it mean something by going two different directions when we're being consistent.
That is sad.
He's going two different directions.
No, he just followed it. He won the chip, and y'all said, "Oh man, that doesn't count." Okay,
no, he's flip-flopping.
It doesn't count.
He doesn't have a consistent message, and we have a consistent.
I just like what LeBron said, and then he gets these guys to get worried on it.
That's all it is. We knew it. I guess maybe just LeBron's late on that one.
Like I said, it's just crazy to me. He says what everybody else was saying after he won it last year, and he gets hated on. It makes no sense. Poor LeBron.
It makes no sense for him, but it makes we're making perfect sense.
No better than that.
I hope nobody else is celebrating when they win this year. I hope everybody keeps the same consistent saying.
So, Jay, you sticking to your guns that the Lakers gonna win the championship?
They'll be in the finals. I think they'll be in the Western Conference Finals.
What?
Sure.
What is happening?
The West is not playing well in general.
Why are they at basically the same record as they were last year? And you were touting how much better JJ was than Darvin Ham.
I told you, I think the injuries are hurting them. Their defense is playing horribly because they're relying on LeBron. That's the one thing Redick didn't want to happen is LeBron to be playing. LeBron is in his 22nd season, guys. Do we understand that? Why is he playing? No. The thing
What does that mean? Wait, what does that mean?
We need to get depth. I don't know what. Oh, what is that idiot's name?
It's the same team.
No, I don't know why we have not tried to get better players. I don't know. This is not a team
talk
yet.
to your GM. Talk to your GM, LeBron. Ask him.
No, that's not on LeBron.
Call him up and ask.
It's never on LeBron with him.
Yeah,
never on LeBron.
It's always
He's
on LeBron with you.
That's why his son is on the team.
He likes to put it on himself.
No, it's so sad. They need him to get help. That's what I would say. Get him help.
Jay, he kind of orchestrated everything
to help
in
him
the organization.
Yeah,
No. Here's the thing, Canteen. He's already in his 22nd season. You're wanting him to play as a number 2. Hell, Jordan couldn't even get to a playoff spot in his late 30s. And you want LeBron to carry a team?
He didn't have it. He has a better team than Jordan did.
Way better.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Way better.
He has a better group around him than Jordan did. The Wizards were horrible.
Way better. Wizards were horrible. They had nobody.
They were
Literally nobody.
Whose fault was that?
It was Michael Jordan and 5 bums off the street.
That's on Jordan. If you're gonna blame LeBron on his team, that's on Jordan
No,
too,
because
right?
Jordan
was trying to be an owner.
And
Was Jordan not trying to be an owner for that team? And that was part of it. He thought that he could rise that team above. Don't do that, Omar. I remember that.
What are you talking about? And he did.
I have no clue what he's talking about.
Oh, did he pick them up?
Way better than it was without him.
Yeah.
It was way better than it was without him. All
All
right.
right, let's keep moving. Whatever.
Move on.
Keep going.
All right. So where am I at? Okay, so let's look at Sunday Night Football, Canteen. We'll do a review of Sunday Night Football. Give us this. What is the teams? Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night was
San Francisco and the Bills, right?
San Francisco and the Bills, man.
All right, talk about this team. Are the Niners done? Are the Bills possibly the best team, the hottest team in the AFC right now? Go ahead, Cam. What's your thoughts, guys? On that?
So man, I will say, man, one thing about cold weather teams, man, cold weather teams definitely do have a edge on warm weather teams, and then those guys travel from the West Coast all the way to Buffalo, New York, Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park, New York to play. Man, that game was 10-35. Man, we look at the stats. Man, Brock Purdy went 11 for 18. He threw for 94 yards. Mason 13 carries, 78 yards, and Jennings. Some of these guys I've never heard of. 3 receptions, 56 yards. But Josh Allen ended up going 13 for 17. Who's that?
No, go ahead. I'm just making.
Oh yeah. Josh Allen.
I think you meant Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, Juwan Jennings. Josh Allen 13 for 17, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cook 14 carries, 107 yards, 1 touchdown, and Knox 2 reception and 56 yards. Man, at this point in the season, man, you definitely gotta. I'll say this right now, and I'll say this with my chest. The Buffalo Bills are the best team in the AFC right now, and if Josh Allen don't win the MVP, there are major problems if he does not win the MVP. Here's the thing, they look good on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And at this point in the season, the Kansas City Chiefs are not better than them.
Okay.
And if the Bills screw this up this year, it's their fault.
Okay.
Now, the other question that you asked, 49ers are toast, man. 49ers are done, man.
They're done. Okay.
They're done.
That's all you got to say? I mean, okay.
And here's the thing, and here's the reason why they're done, man.
Is it Purdy? I mean, what's the reason?
It's not even Purdy, man. It's their defense. It's McCaffrey's out. A lot of their surrounding weapons on the offense, they're not.
He threw for 94 yards.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, Flo. They're not a complete team on both sides of the ball. And at this point, their division, man. I mean, you got the Rams, and then you got the Rams are looking pretty decent, but then you got the Seattle Seahawks and the Cardinals. Everybody's in contention to win first place in that division at this point, but I don't foresee them coming back. I mean, it's too late in the season, man, for them with 7 losses to come back and try to make a run at this point in the season, man.
Okay. Your thoughts on these teams, Omar? I mean, everybody's kind of in play in that division to me still, but what are your thoughts on these teams? And, is the Bills, are they the hottest team in the AFC now?
They are the hottest team in the AFC. They have won 7 straight games since their back-to-back losses to Baltimore and Houston. They are 10-2 now for the 5th time in team history, and the first since 1991. The Bills also became the 8th team, NFL's 8th team to clinch a division with 5 games remaining. They're doing this through extensive scoring, man. They scored 30 or more points in 6 of those 7 games that they've won. While the Niners, in juxtapose that, the Niners have dropped to 0-5 when scoring 20 or fewer, and they only scored 10 in this game. And it's just been the injuries all year long for San Francisco. And while technically they are still in it record-wise, losing McCaffrey for the season, not playing well in this game, not having injuries all over, having just
injuries,
up and down play throughout the season as well. I think they just need to call this season a wash and just try to get better for next season. But again, they're a football team; they're not going to do that. I just don't think I don't know how much of a chance they have right now with what they look like. The Bills, on the other hand, they're a Super Bowl contender. As I said last year, they're a Super Bowl contender, and they just did it a year late. Thank you for finally catching up to my prediction. They're playing very, very well right now. Josh Allen is playing like an MVP. It is really right now him and Lamar Jackson, even though Lamar Jackson didn't have a great game last game. So maybe it's possible Allen has moved up. He became if everybody saw this, but in the game, right, he had a receiving touchdown, he had a rushing touchdown, and he had a passing touchdown.
Well, that was more just not lateral. That was more of a rushing touchdown.
Hey, it counts, and he became the first NFL quarterback to ever do it. So it counts, and it's a major history.
It's a little
quarterback in history. You know what? Don't take it away from him.
I'm just saying, it's not really. I mean, come on.
All right.
All right, Jake.
How about this? How about this, Professor's fun fact? He has 247 career touchdowns. He passed Jim Kelly, or the franchise leader in Buffalo, who had 244. Okay. Boom. Okay.
Yeah. All right, and then Jake, your thought on these 2 teams, and I'll throw out another question if you guys want to hit it too. But is this going to affect Purdy's contract? Is he going to get a big contract, or because he's having a down year, and it's kind of not all his fault, but I mean part of it is his fault. Jake, your thoughts on these teams?
Well, the Bills have shown you that they look like the best team in at least the AFC for sure. I think they're hitting on all cylinders. They beat the Chiefs 2 weeks ago. They come out of the bye. They destroy the Niners. They're practically playing snowball fights while they're playing football and practically laughing at them. So the Bills look like a team to beat. As for the Niners, look, everybody can cry. And I love what this guy just said. I love what he just said. The Lions have an 85% defensive injury right now. They have so many injuries, backups everywhere, and yet they have 1 loss. So no, Niners, you don't get a pass. Brock Purdy should have enough will to at least take you to the playoffs. Right. That's the way I see it. I'm sorry. That's the exact way I see it, and that's the way it should be made. There's no other way. There's no other way I can take it. You have to play well. Purdy, this is on you, and I don't believe. And if you pay him, you are setting your team up for failure. Because he is not worth.
So is this another Tua?
The Cowboys just spent money on Dak. You saw that the Jags just did it with Trevor. You don't do it with teams that have B- quarterbacks. You only do it for A+ quarterbacks that can carry a team. You cannot do it with the quarterbacks that need to be carried. This is embarrassing to watch.
Are you saying, Jake, maybe with this down season for Purdy, this is a good reason for them not to pay him, as opposed to
no, absolutely not. They shouldn't, but I think they will have.
I'm saying, but they can use this as an excuse not to pay him.
No. They are going to pay him. Here's why: because Purdy's going to tell them
they're going to pay him
in the offseason. Okay. Purdy's going to tell them on the offseason, y'all got a discount from me for getting me in the 7th round, and I took you to an NFC championship and a Super Bowl. So I think I'm deserving of this. I'm deserving of a contract sooner rather than later, and I think they will have to budge to that.
Now let me say this, Flo. I got one.
Go ahead.
I want to interject this one thing right here, guys. What happens with a team that's already clinched their division? You got 45 weeks left of good football. What do the Buffalo Bills do? They keep like running full steam ahead? Do they take?
They clinched the division. They don't have the 1 seed yet, Cam.
Yeah, they need the 1 seed.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
They're fighting. I think they will stay fighting.
That's right. You guys made a good point.
Because if the Chiefs mess up, they're tied with the Chiefs. That's they get the number 1 seed automatically. So they're fighting for something.
Right.
Everything goes through Buffalo if they win the 1 seed.
Everything comes through Buffalo. I mean, it's wise if everything comes through Buffalo.
And I know you said about Josh Allen, MVP.
He looks good, man. He does.
I still think Barkley's the MVP, and Josh Allen. I mean, look, compare the stats. Everybody says Mahomes not having a good year. Their stats are almost identical. There's not a lot. The only difference is Mahomes has a few more interceptions, and Josh has more rushing touchdowns. But the stats are pretty close, and so I don't know if that's MVP level play for Josh Allen. I mean, if we're gonna, I think he should be having a statistically good season on top of his play, and he does make plays when he needs to as well. So I think that's part of it. But I think he needs to have better stats if you're going to just give him the MVP.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not giving them the MVP. I already put my candidacy down for Saquon Barkley.
Well, we were both early in on Saquon, right?
Exactly, but we know. But
I
know
think
what's going to happen.
Saquon only
The
gets it
NFL
if they
is going
get 2,000 yards rushing. If he gets
Of
that,
course,
he breaks
because the
that.
NFL's going to pick a quarterback, but that doesn't make it right. They got to stop.
Oh, absolutely. But I think
I hate that
for a running back. Usually, remember, just think the last time a running back won it was Adrian Peterson going over 2,000.
No, you're right. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, I think they should do. Someone was talking about. Someone made a point earlier this week about just like to have the Cy Young Award. They should have a quarterback, the best quarterback award. That way, it doesn't slant it toward it has to be the best quarterback.
Have a different award, right? Because the most valuable should not be a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And that way it pulls, you can have the best quarterback, kind of like who's the best quarterback, because everybody knows the quarterback kind of is the most important player on the team per se.
That's fine, but I mean that doesn't
just have a separate category just for quarterbacks, kind of like you do pitchers, and then that would kind of help out alleviate putting quarterbacks MVP every year. I don't know. That's something I heard. I thought was an interesting take. All right, so let's look at what was the other one? Oh, that was Monday Night Football too. Yeah,
Monday night.
Okay, Monday Night Football. The Browns shootout, the Browns and the Broncos, 32-41 in a shootout with Jameis Winston. Go ahead, Ken. Give us the stats. Your thoughts on these teams. Obviously, the Browns are out of the playoffs, but you can give us your thoughts on the team, where they go from here, and the Broncos trying to shore up that last spot in the wild card, possibly even move up.
All right, man. This was a great game. I know we went back and forth in the comments on Monday night, but
no, we didn't. No, we didn't. Me and you did. Jake didn't pop in until the end, until it was sure a win. But anyway,
I don't ever have my phone until the end. I want to watch my Broncos peacefully. That's the time of guy.
Okay.
I watch my team peacefully.
Okay.
He was watching the comments. You could see. He was watching.
And it was 32-41, but Jameis Winston had a phenomenal game, man. 34-58. Kid threw almost 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. But those 3 picks killed him.
3 kicks.
They killed him, man. They killed him.
2 pick sixes.
So whoever had him on fantasy had a hell of a game, and whoever had him as a
the pick sixes didn't help him though.
Yeah, they didn't help him.
He still probably had pretty good points. I don't know who
pretty good points. Ford had 9 carries, 41 yards, and Jared Jeudy 9 receptions, 235 yards, 1 touchdown. The fix, Bo Nix. Jake, you ready for the stats? So. 18 for 35. He threw for 294 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. McLaughlin 14 carries, 84 yards. Mims Jr. 3 receptions, 105 yards. Was he the one that caught that 1 touchdown and just burned out on the kid? I think he was the one that caught that 1 touchdown.
Marvin Mims, yes sir.
Marvin Mims. Here's the thing I'm gonna say about this, man. Sean Payton, Bo Nix.
I think Sean Payton deserves an apology from Omar, Flo, every damn buddy for what he's doing right now.
For what? Oh.
Hey, let me say this, Jake.
Hey, you know what, Ken? Go ahead, keep going. But the Broncos won 8 games last year, too. But go ahead.
Let me finish, Jake.
With somebody they didn't want and then give a chance.
Jake, I want you to do this one thing. Just tell me who you got left for the rest of the way. I think you can slip in there as a wild card. I think you have a strong possibility. I think you got a strong possibility of even beating Kansas City. Because Kansas City ain't really showed me much. Because the Raiders could have beat Kansas City too. And Omar knows that. They could have
That's a division game.
They could have beat.
They beat them last year too, and they went to the Super Bowl. Raiders beat them last year.
Here's the thing, Jake. Keep plowing ahead. I think you're gonna have a great season. I think you'll make it to the playoffs. I think you'll do something in the playoffs. Cleveland, they're toast.
I mean, do they hang on to Jameis though? He's only got a 1-year contract. What do you think?
But here's the thing, man.
Okay.
I mean, do they draft someone, or what do they do with
They can't get. I mean, they can get rid of them. They have a lot of dead money, but
they're in a hole, man.
Yeah, I'd say they hang on to Jameis though.
I would
another year, your 2-year contract as the backup, even as the backup. But
here's the thing.
It depends on what Jameis wants. He may want to start somewhere.
Here's what I'll say about Jameis Winston, Flo. Jameis Winston, this is probably the best I've seen Jameis Winston play in some time, and he's evolved as a great leader. Yeah, he's a leader. He's been leading the huddle.
No, he's a good leader as far as in the locker room. That's for sure.
He's a man among men. I'll say that. He's done that.
Yeah. I mean, he played pretty good with the Saints too, Ken, to be fair.
Yeah.
He had a good run with the Saints over there.
He did.
Yeah.
I wonder who the head coach was that one.
Yeah. So, Omar, did you switch because you want to go last, or you just accidentally switch?
No. I switched because Jake mentioned the comment, and I wanted to put the comment up so people would know what we were talking about, but I didn't want to block Jake's face while we were talking. So I just switched it.
It's okay to jump
and block myself. You can switch us back if you want.
Oh, okay. All right, Omar. So your thoughts on these teams? I know you're not a Bronco fan, or you're not a Bronco fan, but of course you're not a Chiefs fan or anything like that. So it's kind of a divisional thing. But
Broncos fan. I mean,
what do you think?
Look, listen.
Give us your thoughts on this game and the teams.
Well, first of all, Jameis Winston, God love him. After the game, said that the Lord could help him to deliver him from these pick sixes.
Yeah,
Jameis Winston, only the Lord would be able to help deliver you from pick sixes, my friend, because that is all you've done in your whole career is throw pick sixes. And it ain't gonna stop anytime soon. So it's who you are, my friend.
Omar, he won the game and lost the game every other series, it seemed like.
He's the author of the first 30 for 30 season as a quarterback, and that is 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
If he just eliminates one pick six, they could win this game. They could have won this game.
Well, thankfully for him, his picks and his throws combined to go for 668 yards. Thank God it wasn't two numbers lower. And that was not only the yards to his own team, but that accounts for the 3 interceptions he threw for a total of 171 yards for the other team.
It's crazy.
Jameis, I love you, bro, but that's crazy, man. You just fling. He is the epitome of the term gunslinger. And then to go out there with the Jerry Jeudy revenge game loading and just went out there and had like 235 yards or whatever. Just crazy. They should have beat the Broncos. It's sad that the Broncos were even that close to a horrible Cleveland Browns team who's 3-9.
And their defense is supposed to be good. And he let them up for almost 500 yards.
I know another quarterback that lost to that team recently, but
well, I mean,
let him up.
Aiden O'Connell? What do you mean? The Broncos are. The Broncos have a 76%.
Broncos, Omar. What do you think of the Broncos?
Have a 76% chance of making the last wild card spot, and even if they do, you're going to get sent the hell home week 1. So who cares? Broncos suck.
Go ahead, Jake. I know you've been waiting. So what happened to your defense?
Hey. Good try, Browns. Good try. I think we all owe Sean Payton an apology.
We don't owe him nothing.
Sean Payton haters.
For what?
He ain't done nothing.
Sean Payton.
If it wasn't for that one pass, he'd have a terrible game.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda is what I heard from Flo last week.
I'm just saying.
So I'm going to say woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda is what I heard from Flo last week. So woulda, coulda, shoulda.
What? You didn't hear nothing from me. I wasn't here last week, so you didn't hear nothing.
Like I said, woulda, coulda, shoulda. As I was saying, the Denver Broncos did exactly. You know what I loved about this game? There's one thing when you
Nothing
win a
wrong with it,
game
shoulda.
the same
Come
way
on,
over
bro.
and over. But when you can win a game different ways, that's when you start becoming a good team. That's what changes you. So yes, if you rely on your defense all the time, you now have teams saying, hey, we can now play we can make that defense look bad and we can outplay them then. But now when the game plan comes in and you do everything you had to do and you still lose, that's when you start explaining and I guess separating the good teams from the great teams. I'm proud of Sean Payton. He stuck.
So you're not calling this a great team?
I stuck by you.
team?
I think it's honestly on its way to being a great team. This, by the way, guys, I had to say this on my other pod too. This is the worst Bo Nix's roster's ever going to be. We're dealing with Russ's contract still. This is the worst this team's about to be, guys. We're at the worst moment right now.
I don't think so.
When Colorado lost last year. And when Dion said, think about this. Dion said, you better get me now because I'm only going to get better. That's the way I feel about Denver. Denver has more cap. We have $55 million in cap, dead money right now, that we couldn't spend for shit this offseason. We had to sit there and take that. And now, not Sean Payton's fault. We know whose fault that was. Good job, George Patton.
We're talking the ownership.
Good job, George. No, that's not even the ownership's fault either. They weren't there yet. There's only one person's fault. George Patton, the GM at that time. That idiot. He's lucky that Sean Payton said you could stay here. But as I said, this is the worst Denver's going to be, guys. It's only getting worse from now.
I kind of disagree, but
$55 million in dead cap space. You don't think we can do anything with $55 million?
Yeah, but you're not getting that back right away. That's going to be dead money on the book for 2 years, dude.
Yeah, but if you think about it,
no, it goes down to $34 million next year. That's it.
That's still a lot, though. What do you mean?
Yeah, it is a lot. But Bo Nix is one of those players. He's like a Mac Jones. He was ready to come in and play because he'd been in college for so long.
He's way better than Mac Jones.
Come on,
way better.
Flo, you can't.
No.
He's better than Mac Jones.
But I'm not
way
saying
better.
Like Mac Jones in that he was ready to come in and play sooner than some of the other because he had been he played it almost 5 years in college. I mean, so
he's way better than Mac Jones.
I think his ceiling is lower than you think, and his floor is higher. And so that's the thing about Bo Nix. I don't think his ceiling is as high.
I think this is just the start of it. And then you have Sean Payton next to you, an offensive-driven head coach.
I think he's going to be a solid quarterback, but I don't think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback, top 10 maybe, not even.
Top 10? I think he's already borderline. He's at least better than.
But that's because he was ready to play next year. Next year, they're gonna have a lot of tape on him. They're gonna know his.
I think that they had tape this year. They're getting tape. I heard exactly what the Falcon, and I'll give you what Justin Simmons said on the Falcons game. We've already you can't use his 5 games of college, his 5 years of college, and then say you don't have tape on him. Justin Simmons specifically said we've watched Bo Nix play this whole time.
But it's not the same.
You're playing NFL defense.
What I'm saying is, Bo Nix's
no one goes back and look at college football film.
Guys, what are you talking about? That's literally what Justin Simmons, a safety for the Falcons before they played Denver, said. He said, we've watched this. It was Jesse Bates. He said, we've watched Bo Nix for the past 5 years. We know how he plays. Guess what Sean Payton's doing? He does a lot of quick screens for Bo Nix.
Just because that one guy said that doesn't mean that's.
I'm telling you that not only that, Sean Payton has made his system more typical Oregon as well. Also, I like what Sean Payton's done. I think, like I said, this is the worst this team's going to get. I think Bo's on his way to being an elite quarterback. I think we found our QB.
Elite is top 5. He's going to be a top 5 quarterback.
That's not true.
Elite is top 5.
I believe he will be a top 7 quarterback in this league by next year. Yes.
That's not true at all. That is not.
That's not elite, though. That's not elite.
That's not happening.
What do you mean?
That's not happening anyway.
It's not elite.
It's not happening anyway. We don't even need to argue.
He will be borderline elite quarterback. He's in the top 10.
Now you're backing off. Okay, but that's fair.
No, what I'll say is he's better than your quarterback.
He's borderline
quarterback. He's better than your quarterback. Right now, I have the best quarterback out of all 4 of us.
If anything, he'll turn into Mac Jones before he becomes elite.
I'm telling you right now, Omar, and this is what I hurt you the most. You're going to be the only team without a quarterback in that division. And that's
we're getting Stuart Sanders, baby. We're shanking for Shador.
I don't think you're getting
shanking for Shador.
Hey, we are in prime position. We have 2 wins.
We know.
Right?
We know Deion's behind the scenes working that, so we'll see if he wants.
I think
to
Giants.
Well, Shador also tweeted on Friday that he would love to play for the Raiders.
Okay. Who's the coach?
I think Giants get him. Not only that,
isn't that going to make a difference, Omar? Who's going to be the coach there?
I don't think it matters, but I will tell you.
Really, I think it matters. It matters to Deion.
No, because if we get Shador Sanders, I think we keep Antonio Pierce. I think they have a good relationship. Yeah, I think we do.
Wow, that would be a mistake. I think.
Oh,
I don't think so. No, I think that would be. I think they would have a good relationship, and they may be able to, work it out. We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, what are you going to do? Go get Bill Belichick's old ass? I don't want that.
I know you want.
I'd rather just keep Pierce.
Lost all in buds. So.
Bill Belichick's old.
Canteen. As for the question you had, we have Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs. That's our final 4.
Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs.
Lost, and lost.
We get a bye week this week too. I love that we have our late bye week.
I'll say 2 and 2. I'll say 2 and 2, Jay. 2 and 2.
They're gonna end up 7 and 11. Wait, 7 and 10.
Yeah, 7 and 11. That can't happen, buddy. We got 8 wins already.
8.
Hey, do you have 8 wins already? Do they really?
We got 8 wins already. We're 8 and 5 right now.
They got 8 wins.
They're going 8 and 9. They're going 8 and 9. I'm calling it right now. They're losing all.
8 and 9. Let's go. Boys is up 7-0 early. As Alan, thanks for joining, Alan.
We gotta hurry up. I want to go watch the game. Come on.
All right. So let's talk a little college football, Canteen. The conference championships are this week. I don't think we need to hit any games necessarily. Let's kind of hit all the college championship, and if you want to touch on the playoffs, and scenarios and whatever you want to touch on that college football.
All right, man. So I know we got the bracket and stuff came out the other day, right? So right now we have Oregon. Oregon is at number 1 ranked as the highest team. Then Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame. We got Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, SMU. I'm just running these real quick. SMU, Indiana, Boise.
The top 12. That's the playoffs.
Yeah, Boise, Alabama, and then Miami. So Miami's like the first out or whatever.
So what do you think about picking Alabama over Miami? Talk about that.
So when you got to look at Alabama's strength of schedule, man. The strength of schedule.
They also lost to Vanderbilt.
Who did Miami? I don't know who. I don't know who all Miami lost to, but I know Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Texas, and they lost to
another kind of sorry Alabama.
That's our team. They lost to Texas.
They lost to Tennessee. They lost to Vanderbilt, and they lost to Oklahoma, a down Oklahoma team.
Okay, and then who did Miami lose to?
Who did they lose to? They lost to Georgia Tech. You guys almost lost to, and Syracuse. I mean, those are good losses. To be fair,
those are good losses. Those are good losses. But here's the thing. Now here's going to be the kicker that's going to happen tomorrow, man.
Okay.
What if Clemson beats SMU in the ACC championship? Right?
Automatically? I don't know.
That's one of the questions that we got to ask.
What do you think? Would they be in on? I mean, according to the rules, right?
No.
No.
But then here's the thing though. They've always made the point that conference that they've always made the point, Flo, that conference winners or conference champions should get in.
Well, that's kind of
right. Now, here's the thing. What if Georgia loses tomorrow to Texas?
Okay.
Right?
They're gonna fall.
Georgia will fall, but Georgia's still getting the playoff. But that means Georgia will probably play the first round. But if Georgia wins, that means Georgia gets the bye.
Yeah, Georgia will probably fall to probably 8 or 9.
Right, but if they win, then that means Georgia wins the SEC championship and they get the bye.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of scenarios. But what do you think about, Miami or who's the first out?
Ole Miss. Ole Miss.
Miami's the first out. Alabama's ranked above them. So do you feel like Alabama should be above Miami? Miami will be first out.
I mean, so when I look at Miami's losses, I kind of got to go back that They lost a close game to Syracuse on the road.
Yeah.
But I don't even think Syracuse was ranked, and then they lost to Georgia Tech. But here's my whole controversy, man. I'm gonna tell you a team that nobody's talking about, and their coach got on national television and he made a vie for them. Shane Beamer. Shane Beamer made a great point about his organization and about his team.
Okay.
South Carolina. South Carolina should have been in the top 12.
Okay, that's weird.
But then here's another point.
Okay.
Here's my other point.
Okay.
Where does Notre Dame fit in all this? They don't even have a conference. Where does Notre Dame fit in all this?
They're all. I mean, reputation and record is for them. For me, that's
right.
What happened with them. So I don't know. Your thoughts, Omar, on all this? As far as putting Alabama ahead of Miami, and all the scenarios that could take place. Some of your thoughts.
Yeah. So as a refresher for all of our fans out there watching, it's going to be the 5 highest ranked conference champions. The first round buys will go to the 4 highest ranked league winners. So after they go through those conference champions, the top 4 ranked, will get that buy. The next 7 highest ranked teams, seeds 5 to 8, will host the first round games against the seeds 9 to 12. So when you have this sort of thing that we're looking at, we know that the Big Ten and the SEC are going to go get the most bids because they are the 2 best conferences. And we're looking at both of the Big Ten and the SEC having 4 teams inside the top 11. That's 8 of the top 11 teams. That means that these games tomorrow for these other championships, the ACC, the Big 12, and the Mountain West, are basically playoff games. The winner is going to get in, and the loser is probably going to miss out. Why? Because your boy, the sports professor, called this a half a season ago and said that there would be a team with 3 losses in the playoff. And I said that it would be Alabama. Not only will we get Alabama, we might get Georgia too. We might get 2 teams
first you doubted
with
it,
3 losses.
At first you were saying, I don't think so. And you said, maybe.
No, I was the first one to say that it was definitely going to happen. It just wasn't sure if it was going to happen this year. No, I said it would definitely happen eventually. I just didn't know if it would happen.
Omar didn't make that point. He didn't make that point.
Now, anyways, the point is SMU is the highest ranked, as Canteen was saying. So if they win, Clemson's definitely not getting into the playoff. Neither is Miami at this point.
Should Clemson get in if they beat SMU? I mean,
they're automatically in.
They'll be the ACC champion.
They would jump to number 4. Is that right? In the season?
Yes, they would get the number 4 seed.
Because they'd be the lowest ranked champion, I guess, right?
Right, exactly. Yep. Because and it depends who wins, right? Because if UNLV was to beat Boise State, then maybe they will move up to number 3. Anyways, doesn't matter. See Alabama.
Wouldn't that be something to see SMU and Clemson get in there? That'd be.
I do not. That's not happening. I highly doubt that.
You don't think SMU and Clemson win?
I don't. I think if SMU loses, I think they fall out of the top 12.
But I'm saying if they win, if they both win, they're both in.
How are they both going to win? They're playing each other.
Are they playing each other?
Yeah. SMU and Clemson is ACC.
SMU
what game are we talking about right now?
I messed up.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, my bad. No, but I'm saying if SMU loses, do they still deserve to stay in the
Nope.
Yeah, they could possibly stay in, but I highly doubt it. Listen to what the CFP committee chairman, Ward Manuel, who, by the way, is in ACC affiliated and has been for years since he was the AD at Florida State. He said that when asked if the SMU could fall below Alabama in the rankings with a loss against Clemson, he said potentially yes, and they can move above teams depending if they win. It all just depends on that game. So right there, he's saying yes, basically, that if they lose, they could move below Alabama. So hint, they will move below Alabama is what he's saying.
Do you think Alabama deserves to go over Miami?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Much tougher schedule. They beat Georgia. They lost to Vanderbilt, but a lot of teams lost to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was a scrappy team. I teach at Vanderbilt. Let's go Commodores.
Too.
Go
ahead.
Well, you know what? Oklahoma is a better team than their record would have you.
I thought you are what your record says you are.
I don't believe that.
Oh, okay. All right, Jay, give us your thoughts on all this playoffs and.
I'm more like I've thrown a piece of this. I don't know. This is what frustrates me with college football. If you're gonna play bias towards conferences, let me know first thing, because now I'm pissed.
They did. They've been telling you that for a long time.
They did not, Omar. What I thought was in the college football playoffs.
I told y'all months ago on this show when I agreed with my arch nemesis, Chip Kelly, that in a couple years it's going to be 2 super conferences, the big whatever and the SEC, and that's it. There will be no more.
Well, then do that faster than anything. Do that faster than anything, so Miami gets a fair shot. Because Miami sitting there at 2 losses is embarrassing. That they don't get to walk in there, and Alabama, who's lost 3 times, gets a free walk-in. That's a sad thing to look at. It's beyond dumb. If that's the case, we might as well just say that, hey, the whole SEC should make it then. Give everybody a chance who's got 3 losses. Might as well. What makes Ole Miss not there?
Let them all.
Put them all in there. If we're gonna discount every damn other conference, might as well do it.
But here's
the embarrassing.
Here's the thing I want you to understand, Jake. So even if Georgia loses, Georgia still should get in, because Georgia will have 3 losses, because we've already lost to Alabama. We will have lost to Ole Miss, and then we will have lost to Texas, but we should still get in because we'll have 3 losses. But when you look at strength of schedule, Georgia had one of the toughest schedules out of all of those teams, because we played Texas on the road, Alabama on the road, and Ole Miss on the road.
We overhype conferences. What? Texas walked into the SEC and took a crap on the SEC like no other and said we're number one.
So what you telling me is that when Texas and Oklahoma joined the big boys, and now what are you saying?
Yeah, Texas walked into your house and grabbed any kind of food they wanted from your fridge.
No, they didn't. They didn't beat us. They didn't beat Georgia.
They're the SEC. They're the best team in the SEC right now. They have 1 loss compared to everybody else.
We beat them head to head, Flo. What you talking about?
All I'm saying is y'all have 2 losses compared to them.
He said Alabama should be out. I agree.
I got you.
I think it's low. They should, what's it called? It's embarrassing, and Miami and Cam Ward, a prodigy, is now going to get screwed of playing in the playoffs now because of that.
Yeah.
So what if
makes it worse is this ain't even Nick Saban anymore. This isn't Nick Saban's Alabama team. I guess they still get pulled.
I'm gonna assume Boise State gets in if they win. They're number 10 right now, and they're gonna play number 20 Frisky UNLV. I don't know why I couldn't say that. UNLV team. And what if UNLV wins? Are they both out, or does UNLV get in? Because they're number 20, but they're not in the top 4 conferences.
Flo, I think this sickness has you not thinking correctly, because you just asked for the second time if they win, are they not in? If whoever wins these games are automatically in.
Automatically in.
No, not from that conference though.
Right? Yeah, you can pretty much guarantee that the winner's going to get in. They're not going to.
Because they didn't say that. They said just the top 4 conferences, and they're not in the.
Right, but I mean, Boise State at this point, if they win, could be ranked number 3, as high as number 3. So.
Okay.
Thank you, Alan. And yes, that's
crazy. If they win, they could get a bye. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
So. This is only the top 4 get a bye, right?
Yeah, only the top 4.
Yeah, they won't get in the top 4.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Shout out Alan as well as said Texas, Oregon, and SMU all went into new conferences and went to title games in year 1. Conferences shouldn't matter. I agree.
Conferences shouldn't matter. And that's what Jake was saying, right? Conferences shouldn't matter.
Well, yeah, because and the point is that Jake made a good point earlier in the show. And now that college sports, especially college football, has lost its regionalism, which is what made it so special, was that you had the local rivalries, because you had the fans that go to every tailgate, because you have places like, Tiger Stadium and Death Valley where these were places
easy to get there.
Right. College football was about localities and how you could play against each other and generate interest. And so now that they don't have that anymore, it doesn't even make sense to have conferences. You might as well not, if you're having UCLA travel all the way to Maryland to go play on the Eastern Conference. from California. Right. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
And the caveat on what Omar just said, it's kind of like, how the hell did Southern Methodist University end up in the ACC? The Atlantic Coastal Conference, which is all teams on the Atlantic coast.
Money.
Right.
Money.
Yeah.
That's about the only reason.
Yeah.
Them donors got that money. That's why they took Stanford in California too, because they all got money.
At this point, so we're talking about this playoff. So at this point, should they make Notre Dame?
I agree with that, champ. I agree. Hey, Army got screwed.
Yeah, Army's getting. Yeah. So should Notre Dame make them get in a conference in order to be in the playoffs, or at least the top 4 spots or whatever? I don't know. What do you think? I mean, because Notre Dame kind of gets a free ride. I mean, they don't have to win a championship game.
They need to identify with something, man, because it's weird because Notre Dame basketball identifies with ACC.
They can't be gender fluid, right?
Right. What are they going to identify as? Are they identifying as a man or a woman? And do they know what the definition of a woman is?
You know what he means.
Their basketball team identifies with the ACC, but why does the football team get a free ride? I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't
know. Notre Dame, that's why.
Because they're Notre Dame. That's exactly right. They can do whatever they want. They have their own television contract with NBC, and they don't have to join the conference. And honestly, the NCAA can't even make them. So
should the college playoffs make them do that?
I don't think they can. I think legally they can.
I mean, but like maybe by putting them, not saying, hey, you can't be in the top 12 if you're not in the conference.
I mean, they could do that, but I don't think they would. I can't see that.
Just because of the name? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jake? Should they make Notre Dame get in the conference, or at least?
I think you should, but I don't think they will, because Notre Dame kind of holds their own weight on what they do.
Right. Why would they? They have no reason to.
Yeah. Exactly. And it benefits them because now everybody's playing this extra playoff game right now, and they get to just sit there. So if you lose,
that's exactly right. Yep.
It's high risk, high reward, but at the same time, Notre Dame's saying, "Hey, we got our bye week. We got a bye week of our own already." Right. So we're good to go.
The thing is, Notre Dame has to basically go undefeated or have one loss to make the playoffs. But if they do, they're guaranteed in every year.
Right.
Yep.
Notre Dame will never get a bye since they aren't in a conference.
But they can still make the playoffs.
But they're getting the bye right now, Alan. They're getting the bye right now. They don't have to play anybody while Texas and Georgia are killing each other this weekend.
They get an early bye.
I mean, no one's going to argue that their strength of schedule isn't tough, but they do play USC. They do play some tough teams. They don't play.
Yeah, they play at least 2 or 3 tough teams, right?
Alabama sometimes,
Omar, do you know, does the Notre Dame, even though they don't align with the ACC, do they play a lot of those teams
yes,
in football?
Because they're aligned in all other sports except football. The ACC and Notre Dame are aligned in everything else. Field hockey, soccer, all of that. They play in the ACC.
But they play a lot of
football.
the
They
ACC.
don't. Yeah.
They don't.
So they play a lot of. Well, they do. They play a mix of. They play a mix of ACC teams and independent.
Okay, that's fair. All right, let us know what you guys think. Hit that like button, share, comment. Appreciate Champ Ross, Alex, and the team.
Thank y'all for tuning in. The Bottom Line Sports.
Jeremy, kneecap biting ball rich. I'll take Jake with sleep who woke up. Brandon Cardenas, appreciate all you guys.
Hey, make sure you hit that like button if you're watching right now. Please help us out in that algorithm. Hit that right now.
Share, share, and comment, please. All right. Appreciate everybody. So let's get on to we did have one game that we're on the other side of it. We're usually on Tuesday, so we got on the other side of it. But one of the Thursday, of the week 14 games came in. What do you think about the Green Bay Detroit? I think I picked Green Bay to win this game. It was a close game.
Wait, are we not gonna at least do a quick victims of our college champions?
College championship games.
College champion game.
Oh, you want? Okay, let's pick all the conference championships.
Yeah, just do a quick pick 'em, just a real quick, like everybody give their winners.
All right, so let me get the college championship up here. Are we gonna do even the smaller ones?
No. Just do the big ones. That's fine.
The big ones. That's cool.
Okay, so Iowa State at Arizona State, 1.5 points. Arizona State is the favorite in that. What do you like there? Go ahead, go around the horn.
Man, I'm gonna go Arizona State. Man. No particular score. I just like Arizona State, bro.
You just like Arizona?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're at home and they're raging hot. They've won 5 games in a
They're
row.
at home. They're played at AT&T Stadium. It's played at AT&T Stadium. It's a neutral site.
Oh, is it a neutral site? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm still taking Arizona State.
Okay. Jake, is he there?
No, I think he went bye-bye for a second.
Okay. All right, so we can come back to him. And, oh, man. I'm going to go Iowa State. I think they're a little more scrappy. I think they were able to come back after having a couple of tough losses and kind of.
They have won 3 in a row as well, so you're right.
Right, they had a couple of back-to-back. They lost to Tech. They lost to frisky Kansas, which I told Jake was frisky, and they beat Colorado. But and then they bounced back and they beat Kansas State in the season. And so I think they're on a hot streak a little bit. I'm going to go Iowa State pulls this one out. It'll be a close one, but I'm going to go Iowa State wins this one. So let's go to what's the other one? Clemson's SMU. SMU is a 2.5 point favorite. They're playing this in Charlotte, North Carolina. Go ahead,
Matter of fact, they're playing at the Carolina Panthers Stadium on that game, man.
Okay.
I'm going SMU, man. I like I said, I can't really go.
SMU. Okay. You don't.
I'm only gonna give one score on one game, man. I'm going SMU on that game, man. SMU.
You know what? SMU.
Yeah, SMU.
Yeah, what's the spread on it?
It's 2.5.
2.5.
SMU 2.5 point favorites.
Yeah, I got SMU by about a field goal as well. I think SMU is just a better team.
Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially a home game being in North Carolina for Clemson, but I just think that SMU is just a better overall team, and I think that Clemson has been, while they rebounded nicely after a little bit of a rough start, I don't believe fully in them.
Okay. What do you like in that game, Jake?
I'm taking SMU also. Clemson's not serious at all. I don't take them seriously. Plus, SMU's offense is high-powered. Clemson's defense terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Clemson's defense is
and
terrible.
Clemson only beat one team with a winning record this year.
Yep.
Crazy.
This is going to be a blowout.
Okay. I don't know if it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be a good game, but I got SMU as well winning that game. Who do you like in the other game, Jake? You're out.
Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Iowa State.
I think I was going to go
championship.
I was going to go Iowa State. I believe their running game will carry them for the win it all.
So me and you took Iowa State, and the other guys took Arizona State. All right, so let's go to Penn State, Oregon, playing in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Oregon is -3 on this game. Who do you got, Cam?
Man, I like Penn State. I like Penn State. I like Penn State. I like James Franklin. But I gotta go Dan Lanning and company, man. Oregon gonna win that game, man.
Oregon. And close one? What do you think? Close one?
I'll go Oregon by 10.
Oregon by 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Omar.
Man, you know what? If James Franklin is ever going to win a big game in his career, this needs to be it. This has to be it. He can no longer consistently lose the big game. He has to turn this victory in. Even though they'll still make the playoffs with the loss, I just don't like the fact that he continually fumbles when it comes to big games. But I just can't see it. I just can't see it happening. I can't see them winning. I just can't. I'm gonna have to go with Oregon. They've been consistently the best team all season long. And while a lot of people like to hype up the fact that Penn State hasn't given up over 31 points all season long, well, the Oregon defense isn't too shabby itself. They're only, I think they give up 16.5 points a game, where Penn State gives up 14.5. So they're definitely not that much worse, and their offense is much better. Give me Oregon.
Okay, so Omar, one quick question. You mentioned the coach there at Penn State. If he loses this game and then he's out in the first round, is his job in jeopardy, you think?
Nope.
He could be
Not
gone.
at all.
He could be gone. He could be gone. I disagree. Disagree, Canteen. I disagree.
You think
if
so?
he loses this game and goes out in the first round, I could possibly. I don't think they will. I wouldn't, but I could see it because he never wins the big game. And you cannot continually lose these games year after year, because then what are you? Now, they are better than where they were before he came along. But at the same time, we know how fickle college sports and sports in general are, and how quick they are to change head coaches. So yes, I could.
All right. What do you think, Jake? Penn State or Oregon?
When everybody goes right, I go left. I think everybody's picking Oregon to win this game. I think everybody has Oregon winning this game. For that reason, I think the complete opposite. Here's why. Omar pointed out one thing, and I'm going to run with this. I believe Oregon makes you tired. There's speed everywhere. But what happens when you slow down that speed? When you have a running game and you can slowly make the game much more slower. You keep running the ball and you let them sit there and watch. I think Penn State will win this game. I think Oregon should have lost several games this past season.
Dang.
And I think Penn State will win this one. And I'm going to go, it's going to be a low-scoring game, 21-18. We are the Nittany Lions. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I think all
That's
y'all
what I
make some
said,
good
Chip.
points.
Yep. Agreed.
I think all you make good points. And I think I like Omar saying he never seems to win the big games. I think this will be another one of those games. He didn't win the big game this time against Ohio State. And I think Oregon's had a tougher schedule as well. And they did beat Ohio State. It was a close game. But I think that Oregon is kind of their year to make this run. And I think they finish out the season and they win this game. I don't think they're going to win the championship. I think they're going to falter in there somewhere, but I think they win the championship game here. I like Oregon in a somewhat high scoring game. I would say something along the lines of 30-27 Oregon. All right. And the big game, I guess. I've talked about it. Georgia, Texas playing. I don't know if this is fair that they're playing in Atlanta, Georgia. That's don't
even do that.
I'm just saying all the other ones. All the other games were neutral.
For the SEC, every year it's at the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. For the SEC championship. Don't do that.
Okay. I'm just saying. All right. So Georgia at Texas. Texas 2.5-point favorites on the road, basically. But no, I mean, go ahead, Canty. What do you got? What do you like here? I'm assuming you're gonna say Georgia, but go ahead.
Here's the thing I'm gonna say, man. Last Friday night, I stayed up to probably about 1:00 in the morning. Georgia went into 8 overtimes.
Yes, they did.
Didn't I tell you Georgia State was frisky?
Now, here's the thing.
You did.
Georgia's been challenged. Georgia's been tested on many occasions. We've had one of the hardest schedules in college football. Nobody can tell me Nobody can tell me anything. What can you tell me, Flo? When we played Alabama,
you said it was easy. You're like, who's gonna beat us?
Alabama on the road and lost. We played Texas on the road and beat them. We lost at Ole Miss on the road. Tell me anybody else who's had a schedule that's married up to mine. I'll wait. Here's what's gonna happen tomorrow. 34.
Texas had a pretty tough.
34-27. Georgia wins by 7. SEC championship. We get a bye. On to the next. Let's go, Georgia. Okay.
All right, Omar. Sports Professor is the big one because we got two of these teams are represented in this room today, Georgia and Texas. So go, and we know where Jake's going. So go ahead, Omar. What do you think?
And you know how bad I love to rail on Jake and any of his teams.
Of course you do.
That I can get. And in that vein, I am going to say that Canteen is right. Georgia has had one of the, if not the toughest schedule in the league. And Georgia did beat Texas earlier this year, the only team, 30-15.
On the road, too. On the road in Texas.
And so, most people do not expect anything different here. They expect a Georgia, dismantling of the Texas
Manson.
Longhorns.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even.
A dismantling is pretty much what most people are assuming. But I'm going to flip it on him today, and I'm going to go with my boy Hot Take Jake. And I'm going to say that because the Texas Longhorns possess arguably the best defense in the nation, leading the FBS in team defense with a 94.4 rating. And because of the fact that they're coming for revenge, and because of the fact that, as Canty mentioned, Georgia just spent 4.5 hours playing a game going into 8 overtimes, I think they're a little tired. I think they want to rest up because they're in the playoffs with the loss either way. So, I say Texas wins this game. Both teams get in. Georgia's probably going to go farther anyways in the playoffs. But for this game, I'll give it to Jake. That got his thumb. You didn't think that was going to happen. I flipped it on him.
Well, Omar, you have more.
I knew we were going when you did that soliloquy. I figured that's where you were going.
You have more hope than I do. Here's why. I have a fellow Texas. I have a fellow Texas native on my own pod. Final Say Pod. Shout out Matt Nava, Matty Ice. Let me tell you this, guys, and I told him this literally yesterday. We better win the damn game, and Quinn better show the hell up, because I've said time and time and time again that there's a quarterback that's sitting down that should be playing already, but you want to coddle Quinn. I believe for us to win the game, Steve is going to have to come up with a game plan where we're running the ball most of the game, and Quinn has the ball very little to throw the ball. Here's the thing that hurt us. We made a bunch of mistakes at the beginning. Quinn's fault, per usual. But if you've noticed when we win these games, especially against elite talent, we played A&M. Quinn didn't go crazy. We played a very safe game. You let our defense make the plays, and you outplay Georgia defensively, because Georgia beat us by getting all those picks and having short yards and short fields that whole entire game. So yes, Quinn, you're on the clock, buddy, because I think Steve will have to look at himself in the mirror if they lose this game tomorrow, and have to look at himself and say, damn, I think that boy from Lubbock, Texas, Hot Take Jake, might have been right all along. And Arch Manning should have been starting for us from the get-go. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So, yes, Texas will and should win this game. If they lose, I don't want to see Quinn playing once again, ever again, for a quarterback position anymore.
Damn, man. After all of his good service to you?
I don't care. No. He's overhyped. I believe his ceiling in the NFL is Mac Jones. He does nothing.
Mac Jones?
Don't do that, Jay.
Wow. I'm calling a spade a spade. Quinn does nothing special on that team. There's a quarterback behind him that is elite and is sitting there waiting for his opportunity. So we should win, and if we're going to win, it's going to be a low-scoring game just like A&M's, and it's going to be 17-13. We barely win it.
Okay. 17.
Steve, play smart. I'll coach him, bro.
Yeah, I know that Jake all season has been harping on Quentin Ewers, and he wants Arch Manning in there.
The man, the myth. So, I can't wait for next year.
Yeah, and next year he will be in there, but I think they're playing smart with Quentin Ewers being in there. And here's the thing: who do I trust in a game like this? Who do I trust more, Quentin Ewers or Carson Beck? You know, I'm gonna say Quentin Ewers. How are they playing at the end of the season? I think that matters a little bit. Georgia lost to Ole Miss. Tough game against Georgia Tech, where Texas finishes out pretty much beating everybody handily. You know, Texas A&M was a close game. That's a rivalry game. They were at Texas A&M, but they still end up pulling that game out. Tough game at the end of the season. So I feel Texas is playing better. Though it won't hurt my feelings, I'll probably be rooting for Georgia, but I like to be right more than I hate Texas, which is weird. But I think Texas will pull this out. Quinn Ewers will probably mess up in the playoffs, but in the championship game, I think he's going to have a good game, and I think Jake will be frustrated in the playoffs when Texas gets in there, and he'll be looking forward to Arch next year. All right.
No, if they
let's
beat
go.
Georgia, they're not missing anything. They'll go all the way.
Messing it up. They'll mess it up. They won't go all the way.
Yeah, they'll go all the way.
They're going to mess up in the playoffs. Yeah, they're going to mess up in the playoffs. All right, here we go. Let's go. NFL. Okay, so let's do since we usually aren't on this side of Thursday, let's talk a little bit, Canteen, about the Green Bay Lions game, and then we'll make some picks.
Y'all know NFL picks this weekend? Y'all want to hit the game?
We're gonna hit
Hit the
hit yesterday's game first.
Hit the game first, and give us your thoughts on these two teams. Where you see them going.
Man, so that game the other night, man, it was crazy. 31-34. 31-34, man. I was watching Unsportsmanlike this morning with Chris Canty, Evan Cohen, and Michelle Smallman. And they said they felt like this was the game of the year, man. But let me hit the stats real quick, guys. Jordan Love, 12 for 20, 206 yards, 1 touchdown.
So game.
Jacobs went 18 carries, 66 yards. He ran for 3 touchdowns. That was pretty good. Watson, 4 receptions, 114 yards. Jared Goff, 32-41, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Montgomery, 14 carries, 51 yards, 1 touchdown. And Williams, 5 receptions, 80 yards. Man, Detroit Lions are 12-1, guys. They are the front runners for that division at this point in the season. Minnesota's right behind them. Minnesota has to finish strong. I think the Falcons go to Minnesota on Sunday. I'm not going to really interject much on that game because I don't know what's going to happen between the Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. But Green Bay's in third place. That may be the only division where there's 3 teams that come out of one division to advance and go to the playoffs and do whatever they do. But the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles look like the 2 strongest teams out of the NFC at this point in the season. Shout out to Dan Campbell. You're doing a phenomenal job with what you're doing with your organization.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Shout out to Dan Campbell. NFC Lions 12-1 broke their franchise record in wins, and they have their 11th straight win. Dan Campbell, the ultra aggressive Dan Campbell, always goes for it on 4th down. Right?
That was a big call. That was a big call late.
Big call, right? He had some
goals. That was huge
on him, you know?
That was huge.
And especially after the playoff, where he went for it on 4th down twice and missed it both times and lost the chance to go to the Super Bowl. To continue to play that way
is impressive. Does he do that in the playoffs, though? Does he do that in the playoffs?
Oh, he's going to continue to do it. That is who he is, as Jake likes.
I think that's how they lose.
It could be. That's how they lost last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what happened.
It could happen. But it worked here. He kept him on the field for a 4th and 1 at Green Bay's 21 with 43 seconds left. Got the first down, sealed the game. Lions and Packers, both good teams. I can't wait to see both these teams in the playoffs. They might even play each other again in the playoffs.
Probably.
And here's the thing, guys. Let me interject one more thing, Flo, before we move on. Do you think all 3 of those teams will make the playoffs? That's the question, guys.
Yes.
It'll be close. Yeah. It'll be close.
Yes.
Wait, all 3. What 3? You mean these 2?
Vikings, Packers, Lions.
Packers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do think all 3 make it. I do. Yeah, I do.
Here's what I'll say. I think this is a bittersweet win for the Lions. And let me tell you why. Yes, they won this game. And I think it took a little while for J Love Live to get hot. And boy, when he got hot in the second half, he got hot. Here's the bittersweet thing. Here's the bittersweet thing, guys. In 14 years, only one team has beaten a team 3 times in the playoffs, and that was the San Francisco 49ers in 2022 against the Seattle Seahawks. You don't beat a team 3 times in a row. And I told this to 2 Lions fans that are here living in Lubbock. I love talking to them. They're great guys. And they came up to me and said, Jake, did you see us win? I said, guys, you should have let them beat you today. Because now more than ever do I believe you're going to lose when it hurts most. And you're going to come to me in January and have to tell me that you wish you would have won, that you wish you would have lost in December. Because now, when the Packers see you a third time, it doesn't happen the way you want it to happen. I think the Packers will have your number that day. And so congratulations today, but they all shall fall. And they will fall in January when they see Green Bay for a third time.
It is hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. That is.
I think it's not as hard as people think, but and I think a lot of it has to do with you usually don't see a team 3 times that often. I don't think, and I think that in this scenario, let's say they end up being the 6th seed where they are now. You know, I don't think they get past the Eagles or whoever they play. If they play the Seahawks, maybe you see them, but I feel like they're not going to end up seeing them. I feel like Green Bay's either going to lose in the first round or they're going to play a different team. We'll see what happens. It's a possibility they meet a third time, and I can still see the Lions beating them. I think Jordan Love hasn't had as great a season as people are saying. He missed those 3 games, and he was leading the NFL in interceptions still. He only had 205.
Playing great right now. Playing great.
206 yards in this game. They didn't really need him as much in the end. It was a close game. Detroit have a couple turnovers. I just think Jordan's not playing that well. He's up and down. He's not playing as well as people are saying, or at least as well as Jake is playing. So
I think they team 9-4 right now.
Okay,
that is good.
We'll see. But I think they're a playoff team, but I think they lose in the first round most likely. And I don't think they play the Lions in the first round. So because the Lions
I honestly complete the opposite. Here's why. Your 3 and 4 seeds are those bad divisions. I'm sorry, the NFC West and the NFC South are straight trash.
I could see either one of those teams beating the Packers. They've had tougher games than the Packers.
Really?
Who are you talking about?
I could see either Seattle now or maybe Atlanta.
I wouldn't take Seattle over Green Bay right now. I think a majority of people would not pick Seattle over Green Bay right now.
Hell no.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't do that. Then let's go to Atlanta. Would you pick Atlanta over Green Bay right now too?
They're going to play in Seattle, and Gino's playing.
I don't think that worries them at all.
I think Gino could win one game and have one good game and win and beat them.
Gino hasn't won anything yet. I've seen Jordan Love go into Dallas and beat in Dallas. Jordan's beating people on the road. That was last year. They've beaten playoff teams on the road.
Well.
Gino has not
played that well this year. He hasn't played that well this year.
He wasn't playing that well last year and still did that. He was not playing that well last year at the beginning of that season.
He's got more interceptions than Gino.
And what I'm saying is he was not playing. You just said he wasn't playing this well this year. He did not play well last year. In fact, the last 7 games they played well. He got hot at the end.
He hasn't got hot. It's less than 7 games left.
I think they're doing what they need to do to stay in the playoffs, and that's exactly what they'll do.
Yeah, they're doing what they need to do as a team, but I don't think Jordan Love is playing as well.
I think that's what you do. With Aaron Rodgers, you couldn't do anything with him. With Malik Willis, that was bare minimum.
I disagree, but we'll see. All right, let's go. Just go with the picks for this week. We'll just go through some of the big games for this weekend.
Just go through the big ones. There's a lot of crappy games this weekend.
Yeah. So we'll go to some of the big ones. Let's do Falcons and Vikings first. It's one of the first games, early games. Vikings are 6-point favorites at home. Canteen, that's a must win for your team. What do you like here, or who do you like here? I'm thinking I know you're rooting for the Falcons. Do you think they're going to win?
Man, I mean, this is a tough one, man. I mean, the Falcons need to win bad, man. I mean, I never imagined the Falcons having so much talent going to get all these offensive players, defensive players, going to get Kirk Cousins, and being able to revamp the majority of the organization and end up being 6-6. Man, it's hard. It's gonna be hard to beat Minnesota, man. I'm gonna go 27-24. I'm gonna go against my Falcons this week, man. I think the Vikings win at home, man.
Wow.
I'm just gonna be honest, man.
Okay.
I mean, hey, man, you got to bite the bullet, man. The Vikings will beat them at home, man.
Will you miss the playoffs losing that?
So I think they still have a chance to make it.
We still got a chance. The only thing is,
you give the Bucks. The Bucks play the Raiders this weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
And now you have you're now a game ahead now as a Bucks.
Will they be tied at that point still?
No, they're tied already.
they're already
ready, but if
okay.
the Bucks win, the Bucks will be ahead of us. Yeah, Jake makes a good point.
Hey, so if Kurt doesn't play well and they lose, are we looking at, as you like to say, Phoenix?
So what now?
If Kurt doesn't have a good game and you lose, are we looking at putting in Phoenix? Or do you just finish out with Kurt?
Finish out with Kirk, man. Why would you? Flo, why would you bring in another?
I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm asking the question.
Hell, ride the wave. Ride the wave.
Okay. So what if he has a good game, but you lose? You got to stay with Kirk, right? Go ahead, Omar. You go ahead then next, and you get your pick.
Wait, when you look at the organization, how much money you put into this guy?
Right. Yeah. You got to ride it out. Next year you go with the rookie. That's rookie this year. Okay. Omar, your thoughts on this game and those questions about Kirk Cousins?
Yes, and yes. If they lose and he has a bad game, you have to go to the Phoenix. You have to turn to the Phoenix. All right, you got to turn on the Phoenix. Just get it going.
Phoenix.
You just got to go with the Phoenix. All right, you got to go with Penix though. If he plays well and you lose, or he plays well and you win, obviously you keep it going. But
do you think
if they lose,
they do that?
So,
I mean, I know a lot of us think they should, but as an organization, do you think they go to Penix?
I would.
Okay.
If they have a bad game and lose a 4 straight lead and blow it, then yeah, I would.
But do you think Atlanta does make that choice?
No, I don't, because I think they're still in it, because the Bucks are only 6-6 and there's still 3 games in the season left, and you paid Kirk Cousins all that money, so I believe that they wouldn't do that, but I would.
Who wins the game?
I got to give it to Minnesota. You know what, Sam Darnold, I thought the pumpkin was going to come, and I still think it will in the playoffs, but it hasn't come yet. He's 7th in passer rating over the whole season, so far he's kept it up, even though he slowed down a little bit the past couple games, but I can't see them losing to the Falcons.
Okay. Go ahead, Jake. What are your thoughts on this teams and who wins?
Yeah, I'm going to go Vikings as well. Here's the thing. I think Kirk's shot. I think Kirk's done. This is not.
Could be.
They played well as a team that whole game. Kirk threw the game away. He threw 4 picks. They still had an opportunity to beat the Chargers in the last waning seconds of that game, and still threw a pick at the end of the game. It's embarrassing. I would move on also. I don't think they will, because they are paying him. I do believe they will move on to Michael Penix the second they are eliminated from playoff contention. And the sad thing is, the Bucks have an easy ride out. They have an easy schedule going away. They still have to at least see the Commanders. The Falcons do after this.
We're gonna smoke the Commanders. We're gonna smoke them.
Y'all gotta win out, and now y'all need the Bucks to lose some games.
I don't know, man. I'm to be honest, I don't know what the Falcons are doing. It's gonna be rough, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah. I'll be rooting for your Falcons, Canteen. But yeah, the Vikings, I've talked about it since the beginning of the year. I believe that how Brian Flores has been working with this defense, and how I liked them last year with Brian Flores, and I think they're getting even better. Even though they've struggled in a few games, I still think he's a good defensive coach. And I feel like this is going to be closer. I think Cousins is going to have a good game. He always has a bounce back game when he's had these games before. Just like Jared Goff had that 5 interceptions, he comes back and he plays a good game after. Kirk Cousins tends to do that. When he has a bad game, he tends to come back and have a better game. I feel like that's what's going to happen in this one. I still like the Vikings winning a close one. I think it's not quite a shootout, but I think the Vikings pull it out in the end in a close one. I'm going to go 26-24. Vikings win another one. And I agree with Omar that there's still a pumpkin watch for Darnold.
But Flo, a pumpkin watch after 12 games?
Yeah,
look, he has been consistent, but wait till you wait.
And I give Kevin O'Connell a lot of credit for that. The way he's handled him, the way he has been able to manage him and be able to not let everything be put on his shoulders. I think that's part of it. And so, but I think there's a point where he's going to have to make plays, whether it's the defense isn't having a good game, whether, maybe his receivers are dropping a few balls. He's going to have to make, be the guy who makes the plays. And I think that's where it happens. But we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe he proves us all wrong. All right. Another big game. Bills at the Rams. Rams are 3.5-point underdogs at home. Can tell us about this game. I mean, what do you think on this game and who wins?
I mean, a blowout, man. Bills in a blowout, bro.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, I asked the question earlier. I think, you guys said the Bills can't take a knee. The Bills can't stop because they're vying to get that bye in that first round position and that bye. So I'm gonna go Bills 34, Rams 17.
Oh wow, 34-17. Okay. In LA. Go. What do you got, Omar?
Yeah, in LA, I agree with Canteen. I don't think it's going to be a 17-point blowout. That seems kind of crazy. But I will go with let's go with a 27-20. No, let's make that 30-20. I will say 10 points. 30-20 Buffalo Bills victory. The Rams really need this game, but I just don't think they have it anymore, man. I really think that loss to Aaron Darnold when he retired really, really hurt the team. They had no one to, and granted, they have Jared Verse. Jared Verse, the rookie, is great. Yes, you're right. But still, there's a leadership that came along with Aaron Donald. And what the Rams haven't had is a leader, because Stafford, as good as the quarterback as he is for a gunslinger, he's not a real leader, I don't think. And so you also had the injuries to Kupp and Nakua throughout the year. Now they're back healthy, but the offenses look janky. Yeah, I got the Bills by 10.
Okay. Jake.
Earth Jake, you're muted.
I can't hear you. Let me leave and come back.
Okay. Jake got to leave and come back. I'll give him a second.
Go ahead,
we'll go to the next game. But can you let him in, Omar, when he comes back? Yeah. So my thoughts on this game. I think, man, I went back and forth on this one because the Rams really need this game to stay in the race, and the Bills also need it too if they want to get that first place. So I think this will be a better game than Canteen is talking about, just because both teams really want to win this game. Bills to stay in contention for first place, and the Rams to try and win that division or stay in playoff contention. For me, I mean, if I have any hope of the Cowboys getting in, I mean, I want the Rams to lose, but that's a long shot. But at the same time, I think the Bills will pull this out. It feels like a game where Josh Allen kind of regresses. They got the Lions next week. That's a big game, so it feels a little bit like a trap game. Because I know they're looking forward to playing. I believe they play them, right? Yeah, next week they play the Detroit Lions, which will be a huge game, for both teams. So I'm gonna go Bills. It's a close one, and it's gonna come down to the wire. I think this will be one of those games. It's like a 2-point game, and because I think I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams pull it out, but I think the Bills will win this one in a very close, tight game, back and forth. Not super high scoring, maybe the high 20s, but I think it's going to be a close game, maybe a 1 or 2 point game. Go ahead, Jake. What do you think?
I got 27-14. I think the Bills are on a hot streak. Not only that, I think the NFC West is weak as ever. The NFC West and the NFC South, I do not take serious right now. Those teams will not win anything in the playoffs this year, and I think it only gets worse when they play top teams.
Okay. Short and sweet. All right, so at least one more game. I think a good one would be Seahawks and Cardinals. You were talking about this division. Can both of these teams and guys, Seahawks and Cardinals, just when you want to believe in one of them, they lose a game, and then just when you start to write them off, they win a game. It's like, it's crazy. Them two teams for sure, Seahawks and Cardinals. I want to write off the Cardinals, and they win again, and they beat somebody they shouldn't beat, and then the Seahawks, same thing. I think they're going to start losing, and then they win a game, and it's just crazy. But what do you think here? It should be a good game. Seahawks at the Cardinals. Cardinals are 2.5 point favorites at home.
I'm going Seahawks on the road, bro. I'm going Seahawks on the road, and I'm going Seahawks on the road. I think Seahawks are going to lay claim to the division because here's what's going to happen. The Bears are going to beat the 49ers. Buffalo Bills going to beat the Rams. And the Seahawks are going to beat the Cardinals. And you're going to see why Geno Smith is who we thought he was. Everybody kept saying he's a pumpkin.
He's not pumpkin white.
He ain't going to be no pumpkin Sunday. I'm going to go 27-24. Geno Smith, 12th man on the road. I like Seattle on the road.
Seattle on the road to beat the Cardinals.
On the road.
Yeah. What do you think, Omar? These teams you never know. It's like a crapshoot. What do you think on this one? Who wins this game? What do you got?
Yeah, I disagree. I'm going to take Arizona at home. Arizona, before their Week 11 bye, had won 4 games in a row. Now, they did stumble coming out of that bye, losing 2 in a row. I believe they get it back on track here. They really need to have this game.
With Minnesota.
Well, that's true. Plus, you all know how I feel about Geno Smith, and especially with his splits this year, indoor versus outdoor. And this is going to be an outdoor game. Open up that roof, Arizona. Open up that roof and bring the pressure. Smith was sacked 3 more times this past weekend. The Seahawks are 28th in the league in pressure percentage allowed at almost 40%. That means 4 out of every 10 plays, Geno Smith is getting hurried. I got Arizona in this game by a field goal.
Jake?
24-21.
Okay.
I'm going to go 28-21. I'm going to go Cards. I think that they're going to be topsy-turvy. I think the Cards, whenever we're counting them out, they're going to come right back and win. And now that the Seahawks, I think, on our 3-game winning streak, they should have lost last week to the Jets. If it wasn't for that defensive play that happened at the end of the game, that would have been bad. But I think Cardinals win. Give it to the Cardinals. I think Kyler shows up. I think Geno falls back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with against Cantu as well on this one. If you look at these schedules, I just don't see what was it? Arizona, the Seahawks. Like you said, they should have lost to the Jets. They got Arizona, and then they got a tough schedule. They got Green Bay, Minnesota, a frisky Chicago team, and then the Rams, who probably vying for a playoff spot. You know, Arizona wins this game. They got New England, Carolina, and then San Francisco might be out by then. But they do it. The toughest game is the Rams, a division game. So if Carolina can win, if Cardinals can win this game, they can show up the division by the last game, possibly, because I think Seattle's got a way tougher schedule. And
Flo, who does Seattle have finishing out, man?
I just told you they have Green Bay, Chicago, and then the Rams.
Oh, that's
they got
rough.
a tough schedule. And if the Cards win this game, this is their game to win. If they win, they got New England, who's out. Carolina's out. The Rams might be out at that point. Who knows? And San Francisco will probably be out as well. So none of those teams are probably vying for a playoff spot, possibly for the Cardinals.
You have a valid point.
I think the Cardinals need this game. This is their game to win. And then they can look and say, hey, man, we're in. We just got to take care of business the rest of the year. So I think the Cardinals win this one. I still think it'll be close because it's a division game. And I think they split with Seattle because Seattle won the first game. I think they split this game and win a close one. Something like 20-17. All right.
There you go. Boom. Right. The Bottom Line Sports. The Bottom Line
Sports. The other ones, and then the good ones, it's the other ones we got to talk about are Sunday Night Monday Night Football, but we'll talk about that on what? The Sunday Surge. Catch us on the Sunday Surge this Sunday, right after all the afternoon games, right before Sunday Night Football. Catch us. We'll wrap up all the action, talk about our predictions, and then predict and talk about Sunday Night, Monday Night Football. Like Cowboys are playing Monday. We're getting healthy finally, except for the quarterback. Of course, he's not coming back, but some of our defense is coming back. So we'll see what happens. Hey, so you're saying there's a chance. That's all I got to say. But anyway, so let us know what you think. Any final thoughts, fellas, as we wrap this up? And
that's it, bro. Hey, tomorrow, all of y'all pick Texas. Y'all have that same energy come Sunday, man. Talk about it Sunday. Talk about that.
It's gonna be a good weekend, man. Get to see the Chargers and Chiefs. Get to see the Chargers and Chiefs kill each other.
Hey, look, I want y'all to have the same.
We all picking against you, Can.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If Georgia wins,
hey, I guarantee.
Subscribe.
Denver doesn't lose this week. I guarantee that.
Denver
will not lose this weekend.
All right. Wishing we. Hey, Canteen, on Monday he was begging us to lose, man. He was thinking it was gonna happen.
Ballin' Buds.
He was begging y'all to lose on Monday night.
If you want to check out the Final State podcast over there with Jake, you can check that out on YouTube. Check out all our stuff. We'll be back for the Sunday Surge. Appreciate everybody that comments, everybody liked, everybody who came in and tapped in. Appreciate Camp Ross and Alan, Jeremy. Appreciate all you guys. See you next time.
Peace.
We out.
Catch them sports this weekend. The bottom line.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, I'm out to go watch football games. Peace.
All right. See you tomorrow. That's Ballin' Buds.
Ballin' Buds. Make sure you subscribe.
That's Final State podcast. I'm gonna hang out 10 for a minute. If you want to hang out, but next time, one more time.